Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. Today on the program. The House is bent on revising the Constitution with or without the Senate.
Wala na tayong pag-uusapang Constituent Assembly. I-comply lang natin yung 3/4 votes.
But some senators beg to disagree.
I-expel natin yung whoever, kung sino yung member or members na sasama sa ganong arrangement.
As both debate whether to vote jointly or separately.
They cannot also be made hostage by the Senate. So we have to work because we are responsible and we will be blamed by the people if we will not do our task.
How will the two houses settle the case on charter change? House Constitutional Amendments Committee Chair Roger Mercado joins us live. And later find out how small changes in famous company logos can help save the environment. That's for today's In Focus. Thank you for joining us. I'm Pinky Webb. The Senate made its stance clear. It will not join the House of Representatives in a constituent assembly. House Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez on Monday says they don't need the Senate to amend the Constitution. However, in our interview with former Associate Justice Adolfo Ascuna, he says the Senate should not be left out in amending the Charter. Ascuna is one of the framers of the 1987 Constitution. He says voting on proposed amendments should be separate between the House and the Senate. How will the House of Representatives proceed with discussing the proposed amendments to the Constitution without the Senate? Let's go straight to the source of the story. We have in the studio House Constitutional Amendments Committee Chairman Roger Mercado. Congressman, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here, sir. Thank you. Maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat. Well,
pinag-usapan natin dun yun, sir. You're the chairman of the Constitutional Amendments at the House of Representatives. My first question, sir, is what's the status of charter change at the House right now?
the House of Representatives has adopted House Concurrent Resolution number 9. I just would like to read the title. Concurrent Resolution to constitute the Congress of the Philippines as a Constituent Assembly for the purpose of proposing amendments to or revision of the 1987 Constitution. It's very clear. There must be the House of Representatives and the Senate of the Philippines. Last Tuesday, January 23, the House of Representatives has adopted the House Concurrent Resolution number 9, and we have already submitted and the Senate has accepted the concurrent resolution, and the present parliamentary status now, Pinky, is we are waiting for their action. And so
while you're waiting for action from the Senate?
Yes.
Okay. So when you say, can we get a definition of terms, sir? When you say concurrent resolution, ano ibig sabihin nun? Concurrent resolution?
Yeah, it is a resolution that is passed by one house and has to be concurred by the other house.
I see. Because I have to be honest, I haven't heard concurrent resolution in a while. Maybe because I don't know much about it. But so when you say concurrent, that means it'll never proceed without the action of the Senate.
Yes.
Okay. But just like any other bill, sir.
Yes, it has to be that way. But a resolution of this matter is to be read only up to the second reading.
Okay.
There's no more third reading. This is the concept of a resolution. So after it was adopted by a majority number of votes of the members of the House of Representatives, then it was good as approved, and we have sent it to the Senate.
So you passed it to the Senate already. How many congressmen approved this? So it just didn't stay at the committee level?
Yeah, it went through the legislative process.
Okay.
From the resolutions submitted by the members, the Committee of Constitutional Amendment,
which you chair,
will make a consultation.
Okay.
And after that, it will be a committee report will be made
Right.
and approved again by the committee, and then it will be submitted to the Committee on Rules for its approval. And once it is approved, it will now be calendared for business. So anytime it will be discussed for second reading.
So it hasn't been discussed on second reading. Tama ho ba? Okay, now I'm confused.
It has been discussed.
Okay.
In fact,
has it been
already
voted by plenary?
last Tuesday.
So that's where we are. Yun yung sinasabi nyo kanina. It was voted on plenary. Sir, what was the vote?
198, if I'm correct, more or less.
That you need, that you pass this concurrent resolution
Yes,
number 5.
more than three-fourths.
So why is it there? There seems to be some sort of, I guess, gray area or confusion when you say that you're saying you need the Senate, right?
Yes.
But the Speaker just said that you don't need the Senate. He said that you just need 3/4. In fact, he said, hindi na natin pag-uusapan ng Constituent Assembly.
Yeah, let me explain this way. The process of approving the House concurrent resolution has to be approved by the Senate. After that, the Constituent Assembly will convene. The Speaker is looking at a situation where the Senate will not concur. So, if the Senate will not concur, then there will be no Constituent Assembly. But there are also two sides of the House. There are those who said that the House, as an inherent legislative assembly, can make amendments, adopt amendments by using the legislative process. And then there are others said that we cannot do this if we would like to make amendments to the Constitution using the concurrent resolutions, because it has to be participated by the Senate. So we are now in a point where the House of Representatives will be waiting for the action of the Senate.
That's, I guess, what... It was a little bit confusing, sir, to be quite honest with you, and it's a little bit clearer now. So you filed, there's a concurrent resolution. You passed it at the House of Representatives. You passed it over at the Senate as well. Now you're waiting for their action.
Yes.
So you are saying, sir, you need the Senate.
Yes, we need the Senate.
So what if the Senate does not pass this concurrent resolution?
Then the House...
Will you change your mind that you need the Senate?
Our strategy is if within a reasonable time the Senate will not give their action or concurrence to our resolution, then the House will meet and then discuss these things and prepare for whatever action that it may do in order that the goal of making laws, especially the rewriting or revisiting of our basic law of the land, which is the Constitution, can be achieved. We really, we want to focus on the main part, that there must be some changes to our Constitution based on our consultation, based on the willingness of our people to read and revisit our Constitution, because it is already 30 years old.
Right.
And there are now so many changes that is happening in our country.
Yeah.
The Constitution should adapt to the current situation. And
That's exactly what Associate Justice Adolfo Ascuna was saying yesterday. It's a 30-year-old Constitution. In fact, the Congressman, he said that we didn't think it would last this long without any amendments.
Yes.
So here's the thing, sir. Why can't you just propose amendments? Because amendments would be piecemeal legislation. Why don't you just propose amendments first, such as the economic provisions in the Constitution?
there are...
Or is really the end goal federalism, sir?
On the part of the House of Representatives, based on our experience, based on what we have consulted, and based on the feedback we have gathered from our people, it really there is a need for a basic structural reform. Piecemeal legislation will not cure. It has to be looked at an overall way of appreciating the entire situation.
Sa madaling salita, sir, kailangan ho palitan yung structure ng gobyerno.
The structure is too rigid now. We have unitary government, which is very centralized, and we have this federal structure, which will disperse the resources and power
To various
of
regions.
our government.
Yeah, so really, the end goal is federalism, sir. Among other things, the end goal is really to push for federalism.
Federalism is the appropriate structure that is for our country.
All right, we'll be taking a short break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Coming up, will the difference in opinion strain relations between the two chambers of Congress? Congressman Mercado will still give us his take on this. And later, logos of global companies may change soon. Find out why on today's In Focus. About that if the Senate doesn't participate. Para sabihin niya, Senado, kailangan namin kayo. Sabi ng Senator, hindi kami sasali dyan. Tapos sabihin niyo, ay, okay, hindi na namin kayo kailangan. Pwede ba yun?
In the first place, we did not expect this situation to happen. If we expected this, it's very minimal expectation. Because in the first place, look at our resolution. Concurrent resolution to constitute the Congress of the Philippines. We could have placed there to only the House of Representatives can propose amendments or revisions. We placed there Congress because we know that when we say Congress, it is composed of two houses.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Hindi, siguro, sir,
that is our feeling is really, we have a clear conscience here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the speaker said, You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. Our guest today, House Constitutional Amendments Committee Chair Roger Mercado. So again, sir, just to be very clear about this, you're asking the concurrence of the Senate. You're saying you need the Senate. And if the Senate says no, you're going to say, oh, by the way, I don't need the Senate after all. Ganun ho ba yun?
No, if the Senate says no,
They
then
don't
we
concur.
will find another basis for
Amending or revising.
revisiting, rewriting, or amending our
What are your
Constitution.
options? Is your option, I'll go straight to the point, is your option the 3/4 of Congress voting? Without the Senate? Is that an option,
we have
sir?
3 options.
Well, that's
only one.
CON-AS, and People's Initiative.
We can go for CONCON, or we can go for the People's Initiative. We first proposed the Constituent Assembly. But if the Senate, our Republic, will not concur, then we'll go back to the working table and then plan again. Because we should not lose focus on our goal, which is to revisit and if possibly feel the pulse of the people, which really wants some change.
Will you change the Constitution without the participation of the Senate? Will you be able to do this 3/4 vote? Let's put that on screen again. The much debated Article 17, Section 1 of the Constitution. Any amendment to or revision of the Constitution may be proposed by the Congress upon a vote of 3/4 of all its members. There it is, sir. Does this mean that kapag hindi po mag-concur ang Senate, that you can pass revisions or amendments to the Constitution as long as makakuha po kayo ng 3/4 vote ng mga congressman?
Hindi na ito. Kasi if the Senate will not concur, we will have to look into the 2 other options.
Con
The
or
mode
People's Initiative.
Of CONCON, Constitutional Convention, or People's Initiative.
So CON-AS is dead, sir. You're saying if the Senate doesn't participate. Is that correct?
I will not say that because we are still waiting. They just received our concurrent resolution, and we do not want to preempt.
But you said
We
that.
respect-
But you said that if they don't participate, you're looking at the 2 other options, which is People's Initiative and CON-CON.
That is more of speculative. I want to get the formal action of our Senate. Yeah. In the meantime, we would like to hope. We would like to ask our senators, the Senate, to consider that what we are doing is also what they want, welfare of our people.
So-
in a unitary form of government is too centralized. Look what's happening now. No? Even the song say, tingnan nyo kung ano nang nangyari sa ating kapaligiran.
Anong kanta yan? Sino? Hindi natin alam.
Hindi,
Alright, babalikan
the
natin.
famous singer, si Kan.
Sino daw? Dire? Asin?
No, si...
Hindi daw. Oh, mali
Si
kayo.
Kan, yung kumanta ng anak.
Freddie Aguilar.
Freddie Aguilar.
Go naman, sir. Paano
Yeah.
naman natin makakalimutan
Wala
si
na.
Freddie Aguilar?
You know-
So wait, so, sir, now let me get this clear. What is your position on voting? Is it supposed to be jointly or separately? What is your position, sir?
My position is it should be voting jointly. That's my position because we are now convened as a unique constitutional assembly. We are not anymore congressmen. We are not anymore senators. All of us are here to find ways and means how we can distribute the resources of our government in order that our countryside will also progress. The 30 years, so many years that we have been in this unitary form of government, wala tayong nakikita. Still, poverty is still rampant, prevalent in our countryside. We want our countryside, local governments, especially to get the fair share. Maski fair share lang. No? Kasi ngayon, there is inequality in the sharing of resources.
Yeah.
No? We want to have a fair share.
So what-
Para mayroon lang silang kunting kapital. Para pag mayroon silang gustong gawin sa kalsada nila, farm to market roads, gawin sa agriculture nila, gawin sa tourism projects nila, gawin sa kanilang environment protection, especially in the prevention and reaction of calamities. Highly centralized, walang pera. Ang,
So you- yeah.
Look at what
Which is-
happened
which is-
to Haiyan. Look at what happened to Haiyan, Yolanda, and now our Legazpi. Our Mayon volcano is erupting. Who is there? No, but look at
Which
what's
is
happening now.
which is Congressman?
There's a traffic
That's
miss
the
now.
wisdom. That's
There's
the
a
wisdom.
traffic miss now. There's a rally.
Yeah.
Because there is no proper system. No?
Which
the law says
federalism
that the local
espouses.
governments should be responsible for their respective jurisdiction,
Mm-hmm.
but there is another layer, the
National government.
MMDA.
Yeah.
And then the MMDA said, that's not our problem, that's the problem of
Congressman, which federalism will cure, hindi ho ba? Parang ganun ho. That's the wisdom.
Federalism.
That is the wisdom behind
is
federalism.
the cure.
But we strayed away from my question. My question, sir, was you said dapat voting jointly. So you want the fair share. You want, local governments to be more strengthened and to have, fair share of the resources. But here's the thing, sir.
You know what?
But here's the thing.
There should be voting.
Let me finish,
voting
sir.
should be joint.
No, that's what you said.
Yeah, because we are now.
But that's your interpretation of the Constitution, the 1987 Constitution.
Constitutional Assembly, Pinky.
Yeah.
And so there should be no more Senate. There should be no House of Representatives. All will be counted, and if we reach the number of 3/4 of all the members voting jointly, then there will be amendment or
I see.
changes. What you are saying now is that the Senate will have to vote separately. The House will have to vote separately.
Separately,
Of course, it should not be in this case, because if that will happen, what can we do? If the Senate will say, "Oh, we
No.
do not like that,"
They don't pass
have
it.
3/4
Yeah.
vote. We will not pass it. No.
Okay,
And then,
so now, let me finish this, sir. Now it's clear to me. You want this
there is
concurrent...
now a tyranny of the minority.
Okay, sir, wait, hold on. Now it's clear to me.
It is anathema to our
Sir, if you
principle of democracy, where the majority rules.
Yes, okay. So now it's my turn to talk, sir.
Okay.
So now it's clear to me, concurrent resolution that you want to pass to the Senate, na gusto nyo mag-concur ang Senate, pero the concurrence, sir, will be voting jointly. Tama ho ba?
Voting
Jointly.
in accordance with the Constitution.
Hindi, kaya nga,
the Congress,
voting
upon
jointly
a
nga
vote
po yun.
of 3/4 of all its
Members, yes. So kaya nga, yung concurrent resolution, sir, na ipinapasa nyo po sa Senado is that voting jointly po yun. Tama? Yes
Voting
or no,
jointly,
sir?
yes.
Okay. So now it's clear to me. Now, that's when the senators will decide if they agree with you that they should vote jointly or separately. Very quickly, let's bring this in. The interview yesterday with Associate Justice Adolfo Ascuna, sir, who is a framer of the 1987 Constitution, together with the other Chief Justices, David and Puna, saying you must vote or you should vote separately. Let's go back to the interview yesterday.
Tirang mote at hindi
members, ibig sabihin lahat ng miyembro ng Kongreso.
Yeah.
So you just add the number of senators and the number of representatives, get 3/4 of that, and that's enough, even if the 3/4 will come exclusively from the House of Representatives. Pero hindi naman logical yon dahil kailangan ito ay isang aksyon ng Kongreso. And the Kongreso means, under Article 6, both Senate and the House of Representatives.
So here's the sticky issue, sir. You're saying pwede naman.
Pwedeng ganong interpretasyon pero mali at strained, pilit na interpretasyon yon at saka maliwanag na mali dahil hindi maaring House of Representatives lamang ang magpanukala ng susog o panibago. Kailangan Kongreso, and you cannot have a Congress without the Senate.
Sir, we don't have time, but I want
Yes.
you to react to that statement of the Associate Justice.
We respect the opinion of our luminaries, our former Chief Justice, but the present situation demands that they should also respect our opinion. And according to statutory construction, you should never make any interpretation if the law is very clear. It's very clear. The Congress, upon a vote of 3/4 of all its members,
Semicolon.
wala naman sinabing 3/4 of the Senate, 3/4 of the House of
Okay.
all. That's why this is a concurrent resolution to constitute the Congress.
Yeah.
Lahat.
So, mabilis na question, sir, dahil talaga wala na oras. Sir, bakit ho pag nagpapasa kayo ng batas, may Kongreso at may Senado, tapos pagdating po dito, there's no distinction between the two? Very quickly, sir.
This is not an ordinary lawmaking.
This is different.
We are now a separate body. We shed our shirts and dresses from being a congressman or senator.
All right.
We are now the Constituent Assembly, purposely for rewriting and revisiting our law of the land, the 1987 Constitution.
You know what? I wish we had this conversation at the start of the interview para po natagal kasi medyo we got stuck doon po sa umpisa tapos naintindihan natin towards the end. But Congressman, thank you. So let's wait for this action by the Senate on concurrent resolution number 9.
Thank you.
Which is really a con-ass and voting jointly. Congressman Roger Mercado, he's the chairman of the Commission on Constitutional Amendments at the House of Representatives. Maraming salamat po sa inyo, sir.
Maraming salamat.
Thank you. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. When we return, how can small changes in company logos help in saving the environment? That's for today's In Focus. Time now for today's In Focus here on The Source. Did you know that a slight change in famous logos could help save the environment? French graphic designer Sylvain Boyer calls his campaign eco-branding, and it redesigns logos to use less ink. Since big companies print these logos very frequently on many materials, just a small change can have a huge effect. The redesigned Starbucks logo uses 38% less ink, which could save up to 4,000 gallons of ink a year. You also get 34% less ink with this redesigned McDonald's logo, 13% less ink in this Coca-Cola logo, and almost a quarter less ink in these Apple, Nike, and H&M logos. Studies show that printer ink is more expensive than champagne and designer perfume, and because many ink cartridges end up in landfills, saving just a little more ink makes production more affordable and greener. So would you like your favorite brands to try eco-branding? Thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.